Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show here from the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar, where we're going to be trying a new item from Green River, their Kentucky Straight Wheated Bourbon Whiskey, coming in at 118.6 proof, so a Cask Strength edition. We're also got a couple other ones to just try it against, a couple benchmarks. They sent us a whole press kit with 3 different offerings. Should be fun. My name's Steve Akeley, joined by Darren McCroy, Josh Dale, and Clayton Sabacker. What's up, guys?
Nothing. What's up with you, Steve?
Not much. So yeah, this should be fun today. So we're Green River does a great job, that's for sure. They're also a great value, and I'm looking forward to tasting not only our new offering today, but then a little side by side against a couple other products. But we'll get to that after the break. For right now, though, Darren, there's something you said you want to talk about, and you claim this is a good one. So
I just really want to know the answer. I don't care if anyone else cares about this small talk. I want to know the answer.
Okay.
You go into a restaurant.
Yeah.
And you order a whiskey neat. At what level of restaurant, like what indicators do you expect your whiskey to come out in a whiskey glass? Is there anything that you're like, have you been in a restaurant where it's been like, ooh, we're still using rocks glasses for neat pours and you're like, this is a little awkward? Or do you not expect it? What is your expectation when you order a whiskey neat from several different styles of restaurants?
Okay. I mean, I think a rocks glass is acceptable. I think that's okay. Or, it just depends on your restaurant. I mean, if you go to a whiskey bar, someplace like Bourbon's Bistro, you're going to get it in a Glencairn glass. But they're also a whiskey bar, despite the fact they're fine dining. I guess it just depends. I think that I would assume that most would be a Glen, but the backup is a rocks, I think. And I think either of those work, I think.
So what really sparked on this question is I was in a place with like 40 different bottles of whiskey. Uh-huh. And it wasn't even like a true rocks glass. It was some like little cheapo glass. I'm like, wow, this is like, you guys are like leaning into the whiskey world. And when is that line for you? Is there a point that you're expecting better? What about you, Clayton? Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, it's very... I guess I don't have preference between Glen or rocks glass because, depending on who you ask, especially our friend Demetrius Kane, he would have something to say about it.
Yeah.
So, to me, if I go into a higher-end whiskey bar and they gave me a rocks glass, I'd be totally fine with it because, if they also know the quote-unquote science about it, then, I'm assuming they know their stuff. But if I also got a Glen, I'd be fine too. If I were in a place like you said, where it's kind of like you're almost there, you're trying to get into the sphere. I don't know. Like you said, I think it has to be like clear and evident that you're making an effort, not just like, those places where if you go and you order a whiskey and they still give it to you in a shot glass. That's kind of that's where I draw the line of, all right, guys, come on now. Like, let's
Or in bottom of like a pint glass from a beer. I've gotten that before too. It's like, what?
Really?
Yeah.
They give you a whole pint
glass and they just filled up the bottom. Like, why are we doing this?
That's where I'm drawing the line.
Yeah. Plastic cup would be bad. Yeah. Yeah, you go to some of those bars. You go to a dive bar, they serve all of their drinks in. Like, you go to, like, Key West and Sloppy Joe's, which is one of the most iconic bars. Every drink that they serve is in a plastic glass. Now, I've never ordered whiskey neat there, but I'm wondering if they would just give it in that plastic glass. They probably would. They don't have other glassware, I don't think.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they do that. I assume just because there's plenty of bar fights and they've only got plastic to throw them in. So.
If you go into a bar, you're going to get a bar cup.
Right.
Now, if you go into a whiskey bar, that might be different. That's when you're expecting something different.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've been to too many places where, again, I go into like a sports bar and I order a whiskey. Like, I'm eating wings, I'm going to order a beer. Like, so it's tough to say because I don't think I've been in that situation too many times.
Right. Yeah. I think that happens with people who, I don't know, that like us, that drink a lot of whiskey. When you go out to a place like that, your expectations are so low, you just gravitate towards like a beer or something because you're like, I've got better shit at home. Why am I going to put myself through this of ordering something that I don't like the experience?
And I'm not ordering an old-fashioned at any old restaurant I go to. That is a dangerous game there. That is not a game that you want to play.
There's a lot of bad old-fashions out there.
I like to play that game, though. I'm not going to lie. I do play that game because I just want to see. Because the best old-fashioned that I ever had, granted, it was one of my first old-fashions I ever had, but the best old-fashions I ever had was at Denver Airport. Denver Airport, it's one of the restaurants there in the Denver Airport. It's still there. And the one bartender, she made me a great old-fashioned.
Okay.
Yeah, she had skills.
It was one of those things.
I think an airport is a safe spot. I think that I could argue that. Now, if I'm just popping into a place that I've never even had their food before, I'm not going to go, I'm going to try your old-fashioned too. I'm going to try your food first, and if I can trust you with that, maybe.
You're not going to go
if
to
you
Lambert
don't have a cocktail menu, I'm definitely not ordering a cocktail.
That's fair.
Right.
And if you have a cocktail... Okay, so with Clayton's thought, if there's no cocktail menu, you're probably not getting a cocktail. How many cocktails on that cocktail menu do you look at and you go, they might know what they're doing? Is there a point where you're like, this is a good place?
If you've got pages dedicated to like specialty vodka cocktails, whiskey cocktails, gin cocktails, if you've got a couple different pages dedicated to specific spirit types, then I'm like, okay, you got someone behind the bar that's designing these drinks, or something like that.
Right. Josh, would you, at a place, I've heard you go to like Chili's before or something like that. Would you get an old-fashioned at a Chili's?
Yep.
Really? And how do they do?
Horrible.
I would think it's got to be bad. Yeah.
I've gotten an old-fashioned up here at Cyberg's. I'll name drop on Cyberg's, but they brought it out in a glass. I don't even know what the hell it is.
Cyberg's is surprisingly bad for who they are. Seems like they should be elevated.
Should be.
Because they get a large volume through there. Yeah. They're certainly a big name, well-respected. But, I think that they need to step up their game in the bar.
Unless you're getting that Sharknado glass, whatever they got, with the little shark that you get to take home.
Yeah.
Unless it's that.
Then
it's kind of fall short.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard Steinkamp talking about getting old fashions and getting in just random glasses. I think he even got it in a martini glass one time.
It's a classy old fashioned.
It's a classy old fashioned. Pinkies up.
You gotta stay in your lane. Like you gotta, you know what place you're going to. You know where you're going to eat. You know if they're going to be in that lane or not.
Right.
You know, the old fashioned at Cyber's came in like a mini brandy glass.
Really?
It was a little odd.
Yeah, that is odd. Has anybody had the old fashioned at Bourbon's Bistro?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I never had it until Royce. The last time we played cards, Royce ordered one. We busted out, and we were just hanging out the bar, and he ordered a round of old fashions. And I always heard everybody said that they're great there. Mike makes a really good old fashioned. Yeah. But I always just got whiskey neat there. But man, that son of a bitch made an old fashioned. It was just fantastic. He knows what he's doing. Man.
Yeah. First time there, I ordered a couple neat pours just off the shelf of stuff I hadn't seen before. And then Mike had asked, "Hey, we're sitting at the bar. It was me, DMFP, his wife, and KK Cask Strength." And we had just finished our executive bourbon steward class. And so he's like, "What do you want next?" I was like, "Hey, whatever you feel like making right now. Like what sounds good to you?" And so he made me a black walnut old fashioned. Phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the last time I went to Bistro, I was going to try their old fashions because you said they were good, but they still had eggnog, so I was drinking. Eggnog the whole time. I wasn't going to pass up on that.
Yeah. I can make you some of that next year.
Yeah, you got the recipe?
They stole the recipe from me. So, yeah.
Thieves.
Yeah, unbelievable. All right. What we'll do next, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to try this new item from Green River, and then they've also given us a couple items to try it and compare it against, and so we'll do that too, and we'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
This is Willie C. Moore, and I'm here with MB Rowan, and you're listening to the Bourbon Kit Daily.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We got the crew here at the ABV Barrel Shop. You got Steve, Darren, Clayton, and Josh, and we're getting ready to try something new from Green River. So, again, just as a reminder, Darren, what's the new item here?
So the new item is a wheated bourbon single barrel from Green River. So Cask Strength, 118.6 proof. I know they rolled out their full proof last year, a couple months ago, and so this is the next step, and I'm sure these are going to be available in stores and everything like that, but it is a single barrel pick of wheated bourbon.
Okay.
So, and then the other two options that we have here, we have the regular wheated bourbon.
Okay.
That probably came out within the last year or two. That
was a 2024.
And I think this is like a $30 product at most. Like
right.
It is a nice, affordable product coming in at 90 proof. And then we have the aforementioned Green River Full Proof, which is the rye recipe at Cask Strength.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start with the new one. Do we want to start with that?
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. So that'd be your
Let's
middle
start
glass.
with the new one. So it's a middle glass, boys. This is the way they presented it in their kit. They had that in the middle, so we're going to try that first, just because it's the new item here. So, I mean, yeah, this is crushable at what is it, 118?
18?
Yeah, 118 proof.
Oh,
yeah, that is really good.
get like a nice like chocolatey note on it, like
Yeah.
more than you get from a lot of wheated. That's awesome.
This is one you want to add to your bar because I think you got the best of everything here. You and again, I don't know the price, but their stuff's always so well priced. It could be used in a cocktail if you want. It's going to stand up in that cocktail. But I tell you what, it's just as good as a neat drinker as anything that's on your bar. And I'm not a huge wheated bourbon fan, and this is really good though.
Yeah.
This has got some spice to it, and the things that I like, and that's the reason why I like high rye bourbon. And
I would honestly say that the flavor this one has puts a lot of other wheaters to shame. Like they're not doing enough with what they got going.
Yeah.
This is definitely one that someone is trying to adventure into some higher proof stuff. This would definitely be a great one that I would,
It's
like
true.
you said, at the bar, say, hey, try this one.
Yeah.
This would be a good one to kind of segue.
Yeah. What do you think, Josh? You like this one?
Oh yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, I'm a rye guy, but the wheaters always a second favorite, basically of mine. So.
Okay.
So when you compare it to the lower proof version,
Yeah, let's get the lower proof now.
you
the
get
90
that
proof.
same note. It's just everything's a little bit louder, which is what you would expect with a proof difference. They're not two drastically different products, but you get the nice, smooth, easy
Yeah.
drinking experience. But you just get a whole lot more of it with the full proof. So
Yeah.
the way I define things, that's the best of both worlds, right? Like you get all that flavor. It's still easy drinking, but it has more flavor there.
Yeah, I this just highlights the new one for me because this would be like I as I was drinking the first one here, I'd be like it's good whiskey, but it needs a little more oomph. Well, this has the oomph.
Yeah.
So
this carries the oomph. So.
Yeah, the Cask Strength one. So yeah. The first one's solid. It's just I like what's going on in our new barrel. So
And as we've said probably every time that we've talked about Green River, they cannot miss with these releases.
right.
Every single one is perfect for what they're designing it to do. They do a great job of, hey, this is what we want to do, and making a good whiskey one of the best in that category, whatever the category is. If it's everyday drinker, if it's nice cask strength pour, they bring their game to every single release they make.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is I would like to see a lot of their stuff going into more bars, just because it's cost wise, it's very good, and it's just something that we talked about earlier. If someone wants to try something different, it's just such a good segue into not getting into something super high end or something super specific for a flavor profile. It's just a good way to bring good quality whiskey into a lot of places.
Yeah. Green River's got definitely, and their stuff looks great too. I mean,
The bottles are so cool.
Yeah, everything's well thought out with them. So, yeah. And we're going to be visiting there. Many in our group. We got a ABV Network event there on March 1st. I know a lot of folks that are listening are going to be attending with us, and that's really cool. So looking forward to that. So our last one we're comparing it to is the full-proof version of their high rye bourbon.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Still good, but I don't know. I think this new weeder, they might be onto something.
Yeah.
That mid palate of this new weeder is not like any other weeders that you get.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's a rarity where the wheated bourbon is as good as the high rye bourbon.
Yeah.
So.
I think that means you're doing something right. I don't know what they're doing differently, but they're doing it right.
Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. Well, I like it. Again, I like Green River, and they continue just to do great things and bringing it to us at an affordable price. I mean, how cool is that? And you can find this stuff too. How many new releases? It's like, it's coming out, but by the way, you'll never get it.
Yeah.
But
Green River does probably the best of having something that you can find. They are everywhere.
Yes.
Like, and they're probably going to start popping up everywhere. Even by the time the show comes out, it's usually when you get the media samples, it's like go time already, and you'll see it.
Yeah, you see these rollouts where it's 6 months with Green River. It tends to be, hey, they're telling you it's out there. Go check your liquor store because it's probably going to be out on the shelves. So, yeah, really cool stuff. All right, well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Josh, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
As usual, we're here at the ABV Barrel Shop.
Okay.
Sitting at the bar.
All right. Clayton, how about you?
Yeah, you can find me at Facebook at the Jefferson County Bourbon Collective and on Instagram at Jeffco Bourbon Collective.
All right, Darren.
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's going to be abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop. Just like these guys here, just customers here today, hanging out, and we're like, hey, you want to do a podcast? So you never know when something like that's going to happen. So come by and see us, abvbarrelshop.com, to see what we have in inventory, what's going on, so much more. Also, if you want to get involved, please give us a 5-star review. It helps new people find the show. That's important to us. And last but not least, head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network. That'll do it for today. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye, y'all.
Till next time.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.